As winter's chill begins to fade and the first whispers of warmth dance across the Gulf Coast, anglers from across the nation turn their eyes to the shimmering waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Spring fishing along the Gulf U.S. is a time of renewal, excitement, and boundless opportunity. From the sun-kissed shores of Florida's Emerald Coast to the rich, productive waters off Texas, the Gulf awakens with a vibrant tapestry of marine life, beckoning fishermen to embark on unforgettable adventures. Our journey begins in the Florida Panhandle, where the world's luckiest fishing village of Destin awaits. As March rolls in, the emerald waters off Destin's coast come alive with the arrival of cobia, often called ling or lemon fish by locals. These powerful bronze-hued fish make their annual migration along the coast, following rays and large sharks. Sight fishing for cobia is a thrilling experience, with anglers perched on tower boats, scanning the waters for these prized game fish. To target cobia, arm yourself with a 7-foot medium-heavy spinning rod paired with a 4,000 to 5,000 size reel, spooled with 30-pound braided line. A fluorocarbon leader of 40 to 50 pounds will help withstand the cobia's powerful runs. When it comes to bait, live eels or pinfish are hard to beat, but artificial lures like large jigs or swim baits in bright colors can also be effective. The key is to present your offering right in front of the fish, as cobia are known for their curiosity and aggressive strikes. As you cruise the waters off Destin, keep an eye out for the numerous artificial reefs and natural bottom structures that dot the area. These underwater oases are prime habitat for a variety of species, including red snapper, grouper, and amberjack. While the harvest season for red snapper typically doesn't open until June, catch and release fishing can still provide plenty of action. For bottom fishing, a conventional reel paired with a stout rod capable of handling weights up to 16 ounces is essential. Baits like squid, cut bait, or live pinfish will entice these bottom dwellers to bite. Moving east along the Florida Gulf Coast, we find ourselves in the productive waters of Apalachicola Bay. This estuary, fed by the Apalachicola River, is a haven for inshore species like redfish, speckled trout, and flounder. The marshes and grass flats that surround the bay provide ideal habitat for these game fish, especially as water temperatures begin to rise in the spring. For redfish, focus your efforts around oyster bars and creek mouths, particularly during moving tides. A 7-foot medium-action spinning rod paired with a 3,000 size reel and 15-pound braided line is perfect for this type of fishing. Gold spoons or soft plastic jerkbaits in natural colors are excellent lure choices. Live bait enthusiasts will find success with finger mullet or shrimp. Speckled trout, on the other hand, can often be found over grass flats and around structure like docks or pilings. Early mornings and late evenings are prime times to target these spotted predators. A lighter setup with 10-pound braided line and a fluorocarbon leader will allow for better presentation of small topwater plugs or soft plastic jerkbaits. The walk the dog retrieve with a topwater lure can be particularly effective for enticing explosive strikes from trout. As we continue our spring fishing odyssey, we can't overlook the legendary waters of the Florida Keys. While technically part of the Atlantic, the Gulf side of the Keys offers exceptional fishing opportunities in the spring. Marathon and Islamorada are renowned for their tarpon fishing, with the Silver Kings beginning to show up in good numbers by April. Tarpon fishing in the Keys is a bucket list experience for many anglers. These prehistoric giants, often exceeding 100 pounds, provide heart-pounding action and acrobatic displays. To tackle tarpon, you'll need heavy-duty gear. An 8-foot heavy action rod paired with a large capacity reel spooled with 65 to 80-pound braided line is standard. Liters of 80 to 100-pound fluorocarbon will help withstand the tarpon's abrasive mouth. Live bait is king when it comes to tarpon fishing in the Keys. Mullet, pinfish, and crabs are all excellent choices. For those who prefer artificial lures, large soft plastic swim baits or DOA bait busters can also entice strikes. The best times to target tarpon are often during the first few hours after sunrise or before sunset, especially around the new and full moons when tidal movement is strongest. Heading north and west, we find ourselves in the rich waters of the Alabama Gulf Coast. Gulf shores and Orange Beach offer anglers a diverse array of fishing opportunities, from inshore action to offshore adventures. As spring progresses, the waters off Alabama's coast see the arrival of species like king mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and cobia. Trolling for mackerel is a popular and effective technique in these waters. A medium-heavy spinning or conventional setup spooled with 20-pound monofilament is suitable for this type of fishing. Trolling spoons, diving plugs, or rigged ballyhoo behind planers or downriggers can produce exciting results. The key is to cover water and find the bait schools that mackerel follow. For those looking to stay closer to shore, the artificial reefs off Alabama's coast provide excellent habitat for species like sheepshead, flounder, and mangrove snapper. These structures, many of which are within sight of land, can be fished with light to medium tackle. Live shrimp or fiddler crabs are top baits for sheepshead, while soft plastic jigs or live bull minnows are deadly on flounder. As we continue our journey westward, the vast expanse of the Louisiana coast beckons. Known as a sportsman's paradise, Louisiana offers some of the best inshore and offshore fishing in the Gulf. Venice, located at the mouth of the Mississippi River, is a mecca for anglers seeking everything from bull redfish to yellowfin tuna. In the spring, the marshes and bays around Venice come alive with redfish activity. These copper-colored bruisers can be found tailing in shallow water or cruising along the edges of grass flats. A medium-heavy spinning setup with 30-pound braided line is ideal for battling big reds. Soft plastic paddle tails rigged on jig heads or gold spoons are reliable lures, while live or cut mullet can also produce great results. For those venturing offshore from Venice, the oil rigs that dot the Gulf provide structure that attracts a variety of pelagic species. Yellowfin tuna, wahoo, and mahi-mahi are all possible catches in the spring months. Heavy conventional tackle is necessary for this type of fishing, with 50 to 80-pound class setups being common. Live bait like blue runners or pokies can be effective, as can artificial lures like large poppers or skirted trolling lures. When targeting yellowfin tuna around the rigs, pay close attention to tidal movement and time of day. Dawn and dusk are often the most productive times, with tuna frequently feeding near the surface during these low light periods. Chunking with cut bait can also be an effective technique to draw tuna to the boat. Our Gulf Coast fishing journey wouldn't be complete without a stop in Texas, where the waters off Galveston and Port Aransas offer excellent spring fishing opportunities. As the waters warm, species like speckled trout, redfish, and flounder become more active in the bays and estuaries. Galveston Bay in particular is known for its excellent speckled trout fishing. Drift fishing over submerged reefs or shell pads can be highly productive. A medium light spinning setup with 10 to 15 pound braided line is perfect for presenting soft plastic lures or live shrimp under a popping cork. Early mornings or late evenings, especially on a moving tide, are prime times to target trout in the bay. For those looking to venture into the Gulf, the numerous oil rigs off the Texas coast provide excellent structure for species like red snapper, kingfish, and ling, also known as cobia. While the red snapper season is typically closed in federal waters during the spring, catch and release fishing can still provide plenty of action. Bottom fishing with heavy conventional tackle and natural baits, like squid or cutfish, is the go-to method for targeting snapper and other reef species. As we reflect on our journey along the Gulf Coast, it's clear that spring fishing in this region offers a diverse and exciting array of opportunities. From the shallow flats of Florida's Big Bend to the deep waters off the Texas coast, anglers can find a fishing experience to suit any preference or skill level. However, it's important to remember that successful fishing in the Gulf requires more than just knowing where to go and what to use. Understanding the tides, weather patterns, and seasonal movements of fish is crucial. In general, fishing around the moving tides, whether incoming or outgoing, tends to be most productive. The periods around dawn and dusk, known as low light conditions, are often when fish are most active and feeding. Additionally, staying informed about current regulations is essential. Fishing seasons, size limits, and bag limits can vary by state and species, and these regulations are subject to change. Always check with local authorities or visit the respective state wildlife agency websites for the most up-to-date information before your trip. As you plan your spring fishing adventure in the Gulf, consider hiring a local guide, especially if you're fishing in an unfamiliar area. These professionals not only know the best spots and techniques, but can also provide valuable insights into the local ecosystem and conservation efforts. Remember, too, that responsible fishing practices are crucial for preserving the Gulf's rich marine resources for future generations. Practice catch and release when appropriate. Properly dispose of any fishing line or other waste, and be mindful of your impact on sensitive habitats like seagrass beds or oyster reefs. Whether you're casting a line from a pier in Pensacola, battling a tarpon in the Florida Keys, or trolling for mackerel off the Alabama coast, spring fishing in the Gulf U.S. offers an experience like no other. The combination of warming waters, migrating fish, and the region's natural beauty creates the perfect conditions for unforgettable angling adventures. So grab your gear, check the tide charts, and get ready to experience the thrill of spring fishing in the Gulf. From the first light of dawn breaking over the horizon to the last cast of the evening, each day on these waters holds the promise of excitement, challenge, and the possibility of landing the catch of a lifetime. The Gulf is calling. Are you ready to answer?